Hello you guys, today we are getting some planting done. I have so many things to do, but the first thing we're going to tackle is planting out a bunch of impatiens and begonias and annuals basically in my shade garden, my little shade garden, and then the shady area of like the big flower garden. I got these on sale for $10 for 6-packs, so they're like 6-pack little plugs. And sorry, there's little gnats all around. As you can hear, also, I'm still recovering from a cold. It's been a week about, and I still am congested. It's really annoying. But I got last week, but then I became sick, so I couldn't plant these out. I got little 6-packs, I'll show you, of begonias and impatiens, and I got these little begonias last year and put them on my front porch, and they did amazing and got really big. So these 6-packs, they're normally $4.98, but they ended up being about $2.50 a piece. So that's about, or that is basically half off. So I got a bunch of them. I already put some on my front porch, but I don't really like to show that on here because of privacy reasons. So I figured I'll show you this. Then I also have these begonias that I got from Aldi. These were not in my bulb haul or like bare root video because I actually found these afterwards. So I got, these have 5 begonias, you guys, and these are supposed to have really large flowers. So they're a different type of begonia than those little ones. So I got 2 packages of those, and then these were in my bulb video, and these are caladiums. I think these, yeah, 5 bulbs in here as well. So let me show you how all the bare roots are doing. They're doing absolutely amazing. Some stuff is still like coming up, especially the ferns. The ferns are really slow to wake up, but I do have one that's up, and I'll show you that. But everything from Costco is doing fantastic. So let me show you. And then after we get done with this, I might end up repotting my vegetable seedlings into their own individual pots, but we'll see how long this takes me. Okay, so this is one of the areas where I'm going to put a few impatiens and things. This area is really shaded. Here, let me zoom out. This area is really shaded by this tree when it comes to summertime. So it goes to about, I want to say like here-ish. This area gets more sun in the morning, but this area is very shaded. So I have some hostas coming up where I didn't know where they were when I planted a few of these things. I thought I had honestly, I thought they were just around the tree. As you can see, this one's really small still, but so I have 4 variegated hostas. That one might be too close to the edge, but so I have like a little gap here that I'll probably plant a begonia bulb or something. I have 2 astilbes. These are the bare roots. 2 astilbes. This is a bare root. Oh my gosh, look at this. Bleeding heart. We actually got some bleeding heart flowers this year, which I was not expecting, and all the other ones don't have any flowers, but that was just amazing. There's the one of the ferns. I think this one's doing the best right now because it's getting sun. It's not hot sun yet because obviously it's not warm out, so it's doing totally fine. That's another bleeding heart, and those are canna lilies that haven't come up yet. So this area should fill in really, really nicely. The only area that doesn't really have much is probably over here. I might put a couple impatiens over here, and then maybe in that area. I'm sorry, I'm clearing my throat. I just, like I said, have some congestion. And then maybe along the edge, depending on how many I end up using over here. So this is the dedicated shade garden. This is completely under our neighbor's tree. And in the summer, it is 100% shaded. Maybe get a little bit of dappled sun right around here, but for the most part, it's shaded. So when I was making that video of creating this shade garden, I didn't know where a lot of the hostas were, and I tried to find a few. I found that one, and then one over here. Well, in the last few weeks, I actually put that one, and that one in here from like dividing ones up in the front. But since then, actually 2 others have popped up. So this one is actually very large, so I'm gonna have to move this bare root astilbe that's doing absolutely amazing. I'm even getting a little flower plume that is coming up. There's also a astilbe there. For some reason, that one got hit by a light frost that we had where the other ones didn't. This is the fern coming up. We have bleeding heart, a stilby, bleeding heart, a stilby, and then this hosta is coming up even from under the cardboard. So it's really fighting for it. Honestly, I should probably, yeah, I'm gonna move this. Yeah, let me move this. Okay, so there's a hosta. So I need to uncover this, take out all of the cardboard so that this can actually grow right here. So that's great news, because again, I dug and I tried to find these, but I couldn't. There's actually another fern here that's barely coming up. Then I'm gonna try to add some bird of paradise from one of these potentially right here, but I gotta see how much I have left. I think I have enough, probably right here, and then I might put one back there because there was one last year, but I don't think it's gonna come up. So my plan is to put a bunch of impatiens and begonias all along here, caladiums, all that stuff, like in this big empty spot right here. I'm gonna move this astilbe probably like right here, so that the hostas have room. And then, yeah, we'll just plant a bunch of stuff. But at first I gotta uncover that hosta. I didn't realize how big of a clump that was. So hopefully there's no more under there, but hostas divide so easily, and I have a bunch, so I'm not too worried about it. If you start out with a few hosta plants, every single year you can at least cut them in half, if not more. Mine grow like crazy, so as long as you water them really well, even give them a little bit of fertilizer, I usually don't really worry about it, they will multiply like crazy, and you can just keep dividing them throughout your whole property. I've only had mine, this will be the 3rd year with the ones in the front, and I think my mom brought me 4 little clumps, and I've divided them now multiple times. I also got a free big one that was just green from Facebook Marketplace last year for free. Okay, I need to stop talking and we will get to planting. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is take this bare root astilbe out. It should not be, yeah, it's like not that big yet root wise, so not hard to move. I'm just going to place it right here in the middle of these 2 hostas. Super easy, and it shouldn't disturb it at all. Just putting a little label here. I've been doing that this year for any bulbs or bare roots that I'm planting in the garden, just so I know if they come up or not, because it's really hard to remember what you planted where, trust me. Okay, I have everything laid out how I want it over here. I honestly was worried I wasn't going to have enough for the other spot, but I do, so that's great. So I have a pink begonia here. We got a caladium there, and then this hosta will get pretty large. We have a a pink impatient. Then we have a begonia. This is like a peachy color. Another hosta. Then I did 3 pink impatiens. We have a bunch of white begonias in between the peachy begonia and the caladium. So I did like 6 there. So I'm trying to do pink, white, pink, white, pink is kind of how I'm doing it. So white begonias, a bunch of pink impatiens in between the other begonias and the caladium, white impatiens in between them, white impatiens again, and then a few pink begonias. So I'm gonna get all these planted. They'll look really small right now, but it's gonna fill in and look absolutely insane. So I'm a little disappointed because one of my 6 packs, that was my fault because I didn't look, but so 4 of the begonias were hiding the center 2, and one was teeny tiny, It's literally this big, and one cell was empty, and the others look like this. So I'm pretty disappointed because I only got maybe five plants. So that's annoying, but oh well. I got a lot of plants out of this, and it was really cheap. But I'm gonna keep these containers. They're pretty flimsy, but they'll be perfect for a deep cell tray to keep for starting seeds. So highly recommend saving your little containers if you can, if they're not ripped or anything like that, for starting seeds, because look at all these, and I'll have a few more as well. You guys, this area is planted up. It's gonna look so good. This was my vision, doing a bunch of impatiens, and I decided to do these begonias too because they did so good last year. So everything is planted up. The only thing I might do is add a canna lily over there, but other than that, and potentially over there, but other than that, it's all done. Hoping that the elephant ear comes up that was back there. If not, I could always transfer one back here. And all we have to do now is wait for these things to grow in, and it just looks so good. So we got to do this area now. I have a full 6-pack and a couple impatiens, like pink ones, a full 6-pack of white, and then a couple pink begonias left, as well as I think there's 3 of these ones left. So I'm gonna place these around here, especially in this big gap here. Probably put like the bigger begonias, and then like along this bottom edge, and hopefully it'll be good enough, and potentially could go get some more if there's another sale somewhere. I'm just loving how this is turning out. Like, it's really coming to fruition. Right now, we don't have another frost in the forecast, and it is March 29th. Usually, we're all clear by the middle of April, and forecasts are going out until about the 7th of April, and no frost on the forecast, or even close to a frost. Like, I think the lowest we get is maybe 38, 39. So really, really happy with that, and that's why I'm planting everything out. If there were to be a frost threat, I would have to cover so much of my garden anyway. I don't really care that I would have to cover this. I would have to cover all the astilbe and hostas and all that stuff anyway. Might as well cover up some annuals as well. All right, we are all planted, watered in, put biotone starter fertilizer on everything, and I have impatiens. So I have a couple white, a couple pink. That one doesn't look very good, but we'll see how it does. A couple white, a couple more white. The bulb begonias right there, and then we have a pink begonia. This should take up, this whole hosta should take up like this whole section. A pink begonia, another hosta, pink begonia. That's one, that little tiny one is the one that didn't do very well. So this whole area is planted up. I feel like I need some perennials right here. That's kind of where we're lacking. Perennials there, and then back there as well. If these grasses were easier to separate, so I separated this one and that one. I just cut them in half. They were so difficult. If they weren't as difficult, I probably would have plopped one right back there as well, because it did well over here last year. But I need something tall there because the hydrangeas are there. So we'll see how that goes, but I need a few perennials to go in here to like really pack it out. I decided not to separate the vegetables. I might do that later or tomorrow, but since it's cooler today, it's only going to be 70 and it's only 66 right now. I'm going to actually plant a few things in the ground that have been sitting out for forever. I've been meaning to put them in the ground and transplanting them. So I have this one grass that's literally been sitting here for forever. So I'm going to put that in the ground. It used to be over there and it did awful because it got way too much shade. And I thought these grasses were like the miniature version, but they were not. So it was behind it. So it has this really pretty variegation on it, and I'm just going to put it right here. Hopefully it'll kind of drape down over the rocks and look really pretty. Then over here I have a ton of canna lilies that I dug up, and then 2 more grasses that honestly I don't know what they are. I split these 2 in half, and I'm just gonna plant them somewhere and hope they're like a medium size and see how it goes. And then these are all canna lilies, and I'm going to use them in big pots. So do you see how I have 2 big pots over there? We're going to plant those up with some canna lilies. I've literally been putting that off for weeks, and that took me about 3 minutes. So we have it planted right over there. I always forget to put biotone in the hole when I do it. I think I'm just like in the moment. So I'm just going to sprinkle some around there, work it into the soil, and then water it in. Trying to figure out where to put the grass. I could put it behind the forsythia. It's one option for one of them. And then I might put one over here, because I already have some grasses over here, which honestly, that one looks great. The other 2 look meh. I don't know if they've quite broken dormancy, but I might put one here by that post, I think, or like a little over. So we have some runoff issues like right there as well. So I might end up putting it over there to help with that maybe. This is why I need to put weed barrier under these stones, because look at this. It's growing in between. So that's on the to-do list, but first I gotta get all my bulbs and plants in the ground. Because this one's not as important. It's not time critical. It's insane how much procrastination I can do. I literally have been putting that off for weeks, and it took me a total of maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes to plant those three grasses, get them watered in, all that kind of stuff. It's insane. The one cool thing that I'm going to show you in a minute is that I have zinnias coming up everywhere, you guys, in my garden. I had so many zinnias in my garden last year, and this year I'm diversifying it a lot more because they got powdery mildew, they did all this stuff. I still love zinnias. They're one of the best cut flowers, but I'm going to let these come up. And I also have just started some like a little while ago. So these ones are ahead of the other ones. So I'm going to succession plant them so that I have more throughout the summer and I can just turn over the crop instead of relying on the ones and then having to spray them and do all this stuff for powdery mildew. But there's ones coming up everywhere because I let them go to seed last year so I could collect seed, but a bunch of seeds fell on the ground. And even though I put new soil over the top of my mulch and everything, they're all coming up. There's especially this one patch that like has a ton. So let me show you. These are all volunteer zinnias, you guys. I have so many. Then there's like a few popping up here and there. And this, oh, Wait, that might be a volunteer dahlia. These might be volunteer dahlias, because these are dahlias from last year that are coming back. And look at that, little dahlia seedlings. So these might be dahlias. I don't know. That's really exciting. But those are definitely zinnias, because these, you see the leaves? Those look like dahlia leaves. These, and they're getting eaten by slugs. But that looks like a zinnia seed or leaf. But yeah, I have them coming up everywhere. This is the patch that has the most. And then let's see if I can show you any others. Let's see, here's another one. That might be a dahlia, I don't know, because again, there's another dahlia coming up. But over here, we have more coming up. See these? Volunteers, volunteer. There's like a bunch all over the place, so I'm gonna let them go, and it'll be so cottage garden vibes, and I'm really excited about it. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't insanely long. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm so happy it's spring. Bye guys.